Alright guys, today I'm going to be answering one of the most asked questions about studying in Russia. So a lot of students want to find out if it's possible to come here, work and be able to pay for your education. Alright, so today I'm going to be multitasking. I'm going to be preparing a fruit salad while I answer one of the most important questions many students out there want to know. So you should stick around to the end of this video where I hope to explain every single detail about being able to work here and pay for your education. Of course, I know a few students have been able to do it, but it depends on your course, it depends on your time management, it depends on your energy levels, and it depends on your ability to be able to handle stress. Alright, so let's talk about the timing. So students in Russia usually study for 6 days a week because Russia has a 6 working day, you go to school or work for 6 days in a week. It's not always the case because some schools usually end on Friday, but then the university has the right to send you to school for actually up to 6 days. It's not possible for you to say you can go to school and be able to work on the weekend if you're studying some courses. For example, in some preparatory courses, for example, in Dagestan State University, I know that they go to school for 6 days, so it's not possible for them to be able to go to work on the weekends, So most classes usually start by 8 a.m. and finish by 4. So as a student, you can only work after class or you can work night shifts. So some people are lucky that their work starts by 5 p.m., But you remember that you are a student, you have to come back, you have to eat, you have to study for the next day. So you can either choose between working or being a terrible student. So, it's difficult for a lot of people because you finish class, by 4, you are hungry and you have to go directly to work. And some of these jobs, some of these jobs require you to go every day. Like I have a job, my job requires me to go 6 days a week. So I have to go from Monday to Saturday. So there is no break in between. So if you're able to handle the stress levels, then let's move over to the next one. Alright, so let's talk about the availability of the employment because most employers, we want their workers to come in at 8 and leave at 5. So the only ones that are available, are night shifts, so you have to really pick up night shift. And it's difficult, like I said before, for students to actually work at night because, for example, if your night shift starts from, let's say 6 p.m. in the evening and ends at, let's say 4 a.m. in the morning. So you go there, because you have to be there by 5 p.m. You go there by 5 p.m. and finish by 4 a.m. and you reach home by, maybe somewhere around, let's say 5 a.m. So now you remember that you have class at 8 again in the morning. So you can only sleep for 3 hours. You wake up, you go to class feeling like, am I allowed to curse? Okay, you're feeling bad, like you feel terrible while you go to class. So it's not something you can do it for maybe 2, 3, 4 days in a week, but it's not something you can do for let's say Pastor Yana, I've even forgotten English, continuously, It's not something you can be able to handle continuously. Alright, so basically, the last most important part is how much is the payment and how much do jobs actually pay here. Okay, so the average pay as far as I'm concerned is, is about 2,000 to 3,000 rubles. You can do the conversion yourself, or I'll do it later and put it on the screen. And if you are going to work every day, for example, or if you are going to work 5 days a week, let's be, unrealistic. If you're going to work 5 days a week and you're earning 2,000 rubles a day, that is about 10,000 rubles, in a week and about 40,000 rubles in a month. And let's say your school fees is... your tuition fees are, let's say, about maybe 150,000 if you're not studying medicine, if you're studying other courses, and about 200,000 if you're studying medicine. So, you are saving maybe out of the 40,000 that you make about 20,000 rubles every month. So in 10 months, you can be able to have about 200,000. So on paper, it is possible for you to actually pay because you are making about 40,000 rubles a month, which is like the least I'm calculating by the least amount of money you can make. So, but that is theory. In practical, it's a lot more difficult because once your stress levels accumulate, it's a different thing for somebody that is, just going to work. He's stressed, but he can handle the stress, and it's a different thing for somebody that's just going to school. He's stressed, but he can handle the stress. But when you combine these two, things together, it's sometimes very extremely difficult to be able to handle, and then you find yourself, getting older than you are, and you find yourself breaking down. You find yourself having emotional stress, getting depressed, getting overstressed, and you can even get sick. So, okay, it's theoretically possible and it's practically possible because I am one of the people that are going to school and working at the same time. But, If you are coming to this country, my first advice for you is at least to get at least the first and second year of your tuition fee ready, everything, the first and second year expenses ready before you come, because of course you even need to learn Russian language before you can even get a job, because the Russians will actually need somebody that they can talk to in Russian. It's not like a fluent Russian speaker, but you should be at least be able to understand simple Russian commands, like stop, do this, come today, or stuff like that. So my advice to you would to get at least about 2 years of expenses before actually coming to Russia. So another point I'm going to be talking about is the university type. If you're studying medicine, it's going to be difficult for you to, go to school and go to work, because you're always engaged at the hospital and you have a lot of material to actually study and read. But if you're studying other courses which are a little less stricter than medicine, maybe you can manage to go to work. So these are all factors you can consider, because of course, some universities are stricter than some universities. I'm not saying there are universities that allow you to just completely not study, but there are universities that are less stricter when it comes to academics than universities. For example, we are in Dagestan right now. I'm in Dagestan State Medical University, so I am significantly busier than my colleagues who are in the Dagestan State University who are studying other courses, like maybe psychology or economics and all of that. All right, so another thing you can consider is weather conditions, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm a Nigerian, I don't know how to speak English. So basically, if you are maybe somebody that's lived in warm areas all your life and you're coming here, you might find the employment, but you might not even have the jelania, like the wish to actually go there and work, because the temperatures are really, really cold. And because the Russians are used to this weather, like they make you go to work in very cold temperatures. And for some people that are coming from Africa, India, Pakistan, all these places, it's very difficult for us to be able to adapt to working in such conditions. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about is city location. Of course, there are more employment opportunities in the bigger cities than the smaller cities. But the problem here is this: for you to be able to gain admission and study in the bigger cities, you need to have a lot of tuition fee. The tuition fee is high. For example, somebody is studying in Dagestan might budget maybe 200,000 rubles or $3,000, for first year. But someone that is going to Moscow, St. Petersburg should have at least 10,000 rubles. So of course, you are going to find more employment opportunities there. But the starting, the capital to be able to go there, the money to be able to go there is significantly higher than somebody that's coming to the smaller cities. So is it actually possible to study and pay for education? Yes, and I know a few people, I have very good examples of people that have come here and studied and, and worked and paid for their education and all of that, but it's not something easy. All right, so if you're interested in studying in Russia, like I've already said in my previous videos, a lot of people emailed me and I've already done the admission process. I've started it already. And if you're interested in studying in Russia, my email is going to be in, the description, and you can email me. And if I think you are serious, I can give you my number and we can start your admission process. Sorry for this video combined with this thing, because I was we're preparing for a party and we wanted to multitask. Thanks for watching. See you next time.